All right, what to do, everybody? It's your boy LG from Where There's Smoke. Need to double check the audio and video like always, but we should be live on YouTube, Rumble, Kick. It's been a minute. I've been slacking more than ever, but anyway, I don't want to bore y'all with that. Just want to get in here with Mr. Joe Games. We'll talk some shit about the Pope. Kind of give our opinion on that, and talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs. And I think I had one more topic. I'm doing terrible with remembering the. Oh, we might talk a little bit about the Blue Origin space flight. I know that's kind of old now, but it's been a huge topic that a lot of people are interested in. And then another thing in the title, I might change it, but uh, I saw a thing about Shannon Sharp going through another lawsuit, and he just can't seem to stay out of the news for like the sexual stuff. So we might touch on that a bit. But I got Mr. Joe Games in the building. I'll let him say what's up, and then we'll kind of get into it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Mr. Joe Games, Joy Flex, what's good?
Hell yeah. Appreciate him for tuning in as always, or joining the live stream. Let me
Smash
see.
that like button.
Oh yeah, y'all smash the like button and y'all go check out his channel. He's got plenty of good like playthroughs and stuff. He's been heavy on the Minecraft lately, and it's pretty interesting to see him play with like other creators and kind of see them all interact. And they have funny stuff that goes on quite a bit. So it's a good time over there.
We mingle.
We mean cool. All right, let me check the audio real quick.
Yeah, check. Make sure it works. Don't want to go talking for 3 hours straight. No audio.
Yeah, no shit. Let's see. Sounds good so far. All right, yeah, it's all good. Let's see. So I don't know what when I saw that the Pope passed this morning, my first thought was like I don't know why, but I guess because this Pope was like more like he was more open to like basically he was more
The
upset,
left.
yeah, and the gay people and the left in general. So like when I saw that he died, the first thing I was saying is like, yeah, we're gonna need a new Pope. We're gonna need a gay Pope. We're gonna get a Jewish Pope, a gay Jewish Pope. I don't know. I was just thinking about like what Trump would say or something. I don't know. But
Or Kanye.
dude, Kanye's been out of freaking control, dude.
Oh, yeah, that is something we do need to talk about. He's been very weird.
Yeah, we should change the title to that almost. Um, let me see. Well, I could
Well, I don't
change.
want to get that deep into it.
You don't want
Kanye.
to, dude. Yeah, I almost feel like people should just start ignoring him. Like, if you want to jam his old music that you're a fan of, go for it. But like, we should stop covering him in the news and like stop giving him attention because he's like a brat little child that's just like screaming for attention. Oh, I'm gonna wear this KKK outfit and everyone's gonna give me attention. Oh, I'm gonna say that I did some weirdo shit in my past to get a bunch of attention. It's like enough for you. You're cut off from the attention. He's like he's out of control. I don't know. Anything you have
Very
anything else?
much so.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. A lot of people are like he needs help. He needs help. This is an outcry for help. It's like I think the best way we can help him is just to not
Give
fucking
him attention.
yeah. So I know that's easier said than done, especially in modern times. But yeah, I wish the people with like academics and other people with voices would just like ignore him for a good year or two and see maybe that would help. But yeah, he's out of his mind, and I I think I don't know. I just hope that he's not like an agent for chaos. It almost seems like he's like that in a way for Trump too. Like he's just doing stuff more and more crazy and more chaotic to almost like normalize that. It's like, yeah, I don't think we need any more craziness in this world right now. So, um, yeah. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. The Pope thing is interesting. I think it's interesting. He died like the day after Easter, like basically right on Easter. Um, he was sick for like several months before this, so it's not the craziest thing. And he's 88, so he's old. Um, but I something interesting I heard about him. You know, there's all this news about him now that he passed, but I heard he was the first pope that was from uh he was from Latin America somewhere, but he was the first pope from the Americas period, like North or South America. So he was like the first pope from this side of the world, which is interesting. Uh And then another little side note that just kind of interesting is they said he was a bouncer like early on in his life, which I thought was kind of interesting. That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I've always thought the Pope was like a weird position. I never really gave the the Pope position that much like respect, really. Um, I mean, I never was super religious now, and the older I get, I'm getting closer to God. I feel like, but still not like really identifying with any religion. So I don't really. To me, the Pope is just a man. Um, but I might get into that a little more. But kind of, what are your? Do you have any initial thoughts on him passing, or any thoughts on like the office of the Pope, or the position or whatever it is?
Not one bit.
Not one
I mean, they have
bit.
a lot of. I mean, they have a lot of power. So I'm not Catholic, so I don't really like.
Mm,
Never really looked up to the Pope like that.
right.
But I mean, yeah, he had a lot of authority, a lot of power. He did a lot for his Catholic community. Community.
Did he?
Um, yeah, he spoke up for them. He prayed for them.
But don't you think it? Do you think it's a more net good than because like I would argue that because the Pope is supposed to be like the ultimate authority on God here on earth, but for the Catholics, it almost like puts someone between them and God. It's like, why do you need a Pope? You know what I mean? It's almost like you start like putting him above yourself or something, or like idolizing him in a way like, oh, he's so good, he's so pure, he's so fill in the blank. It's like, well, he's not God, so it's almost like a weird thing where they like idol worship, you know? He wears all white, he rides around in a bulletproof car, and even they said this pope was pretty modest, but even as a modest pope, it's like he's living a life that he has all these Catholics that put him on a pedestal and think he's so great. It's kind of like a weird deal. And then not to mention the Vatican's like a very secretive place. Like you can't just go there and like look at all their shit. Like they have some of the most hidden texts throughout the world are hidden in the Vatican. They have like a big library that's all um basically you can't go there. Like they have a bunch of they have like a library that's hidden that are not hidden, but just like off limits. Like they have a bunch of old texts that we don't know what the hell they're there's a lot of hidden shit in the Vatican library supposedly. So it's like, I don't know if it's a really a net good that we have this whole. And even people that aren't Catholic, we have like this hands off thing where we don't want to criticize the Pope, we don't want to like ridicule him, and no one wants to be like, oh, it's weird that they have the Vatican with all this hidden shit, you know?
I don't know. I never knew the Pope like that.
Yeah. And then the Vatican and the Roman Catholic Church owns a bunch of land as well. And like that was a big deal back in the day. They own like more land than anybody, and I think they're still one of the largest land owners in the world. So let me look that up real quick. I think especially non-governmental, they're one of the largest ones. So it's just kind of weird. Um, let me see. The Roman Catholic Church is one of the world's largest landowners, controlling an estimated 177 million acres of land globally. This land encompasses a variety of properties, including churches, schools, farmland, and forests. The churches with holdings or land holdings are extensive, with properties found in nearly every country in the every county in the United States and throughout the world. Whoa! They have properties in nearly every county in the U.S. How do you like that?
Hmm.
The church owns
Yeah, I mean,
property in nearly every county in all 50 states of the U.S., as well as globally, including locations like London, Paris, New York, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, that's weird.
It's a little weird. Yeah. So I don't know. It's not like a Pope bashing thing, but I'm definitely not here to like co-sign him and ride a fucking pony. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I think less of that would be good, of like putting people in a high position that are like more or less worshipped. Um, he's just a man. He, as we can see now, he's dead, and like I'm not happy about it or anything. But life goes on. We all have to still try to connect to God if that's your prerogative, which I think it should be. But anyway, I just feel like everyone wants to should try to be the best person they can be and do good, and you don't need like someone over you to like tell you that, or like why is his word worth so much more, why, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know, and I just thought I was cracking like jokes to myself this morning, but yeah, I was just imagining like Trump, like what he was gonna say, like, yeah, we need a new pope, we need a Jewish pope. It's just like I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I know they're gonna elect a new one probably within the coming months, and that'll be a big deal for them, and I'm sure it'll be on the news. So um yeah, I just think it's interesting that we have so many different religions and they all think their one is the one. They don't think like, oh, mine's just like another way to interpret things. Everyone thinks like my religion is the religion. So maybe that'll change going forward. Maybe it won't, but it's just interesting how um some things change, and then as time goes on, some things really seem to be like locked in and never changing. Even though you would think they would, like something like this with the Pope and religion, and you would figure throughout time there'd be less and less religions, not more of them. But um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if there's anything else that comes out about it. Um, Trying to think if I have anything else to say. Maybe we'll do a story on like how they select the Pope, because I'm sure they'll refresh us about that on the news, and we can kind of give our thoughts on that. Um,
They use chimneys
yeah,
and
they
they
use
use
a
letters,
yeah,
and then once they finally figure it out, they'll like make it burn white smoke to let everybody know.
yeah,
It's crooked.
yeah. They have their whole little ritual, so it's interesting. Yeah, I wish the stuff in the Vatican wasn't hidden, because that is just you know I feel like there was a story a couple years ago about some like weird stuff going on there too, and they couldn't find it out because they have like their own police. It's all blocked off. My biggest thing is like they have that huge library with all this old stuff, and no one can read it except for like certain people or whatever. I would even like to look in and do some research on that and see like who's allowed in there and stuff. But I'm pretty sure you have to be high up and whatnot. So, oh, and then like the other thing is they have real weird like statues in and around the Vatican too, like that seem somewhat demonic. And then the wearing of all red. So there's some things that are like a little weird to me, and I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. I just thought it was interesting that he died right after Christmas, right after Easter, and supposedly our vice president, JD Vance, recently met with him like a day ago or something. So that's a little weird. Uh, um,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
yeah. So that's a little strange. And I've heard a lot of conspiracy theorists that have said they think this pope is like either the pope we just had was the last one, or they think the next pope could be the last one. But there's been conspiracy theories, and they're always just thinking it's gonna be the last pope. So that could just be people always hoping that there's gonna be something juicy happening during their lifetime. So we'll see what this next pope looks like, if he and kind of what his how they pick him. We might go over that a little bit, but just see kind of like what he thinks. And it's interesting that even though he is only over one religion, it's still like a world. Like when the Pope dies, everyone in the world knows. It's like a big deal. So it's almost like the president of the U.S. Like even though he's only over the U.S., when he's elected, it's a big deal. And like if a president was to die, which obviously a lot of times our guys are only in office for 4 years, so they don't die in office. But like when and if they do, that's a big deal worldwide. Even though it's only really affecting us. But it's interesting that the Pope also has that kind of global or worldwide, should I say, effect on people. So, um, I wish I almost wish I would have went live this morning, but I was on the way to work when I saw that. I had a few jokes to make about it, but anyway, it's not as funny 8 hours later. But anyway, um, yeah. Anything else you want to say about that, or any other thoughts before we maybe move on to some of the other stuff?
Nah, just rest in peace, Pope.
Rest in peace,
I hope he
Pope.
does well in heaven.
Yeah, here's another little side thing that I think is interesting before we move on. Uh, his name wasn't Francis. Like when the popes get elected or whatever, I guess, uh, they changed their name, which is interesting. So I thought that's kind of just like an interesting little. That'd be like if I became the pope or something, or if I became a new position and then I changed my name to, or like let's say I became a saint or something, like now I'm Saint Nostradamus or something. It's like, okay, dude, you think you're so big and bad that you're giving yourself a title and you're changing your name? Like, you just think it's almost like they want to act like they're reborn. Okay, I'm reborn and I'm better than I was before and I'm a new person now. And it's like, are you? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. So, anyway. Um, so we'll see what the new pope is. It'll be interesting to see what the new pope, what name the new pope chooses too. That's also something that's interesting. So, let's see. I guess that's it for now on that, unless we think of something else. And like I said, if they start covering the nomination process and there's something I find interesting, I might cover this again in the coming week or two. But did you have any thoughts about the Blue Origin space flight where they sent the women to space? I'm gonna I have something in the oven. I'm gonna go pull it out real quick. I'll give you a second to think if there's anything you want to say about that, and then I don't really want to get too deep into that, but I know that's been like a super popular topic the last like 2 or 3 days, so we could touch on that. But I'll give me a second. I'll be right back.
He's cooking in the oven.
All right, I'm back. Did you have anything any thoughts on the Blue Origin thing or not really?
Nah, I'm happy they made it.
They made it. Well, yeah. The thing is, a lot of people are bashing them because they're like, oh, it's a big deal when 6 women go to space, but when men or like even other women astronauts that are legit astronauts have to go through all this. I think they have to be in the army and they have to go through the NASA space training, and it takes years and dedication, and not even all the astronauts that train don't get to go. There's like a selection process, so it's like real people that go to space have to do all this work and to maybe get to go, but then these celebrities just got to go. So some people were talking crap about that. But I mean, I guess if they're opening up for commercial space flight or whatever, and these people can afford it, so it's whatever. But I noticed a lot of people. Well, for one, whenever Elon rescued those people from the ISS space station, a lot of people were criticizing that, saying parts of that looked fake. And the thing that looked the fakest from that, without me doing a bunch of research, was the parachutes. When Elon brought the people back from the space station, the parachutes that they used to land looked CGI. Like they looked like fake, like super fake. And that's the first thing I thought when I saw this other one with those 6 women when they showed it. The parachutes they showed on TV looked like CGI as fuck. Like they looked fake as like shit, which is interesting. And then a lot of people were saying that they saw a video where like the women that were in the little capsule opened the door whenever that wasn't supposed to be possible. Supposedly there was supposed to be like some tool that Bezos needed to like put like a big key that he needed to put on the door and like turn to unlock it because it was like pressurized. But there was a video showing that like one of the women from the space flight like opened the door from the inside, and then they're like, no, shut it, and then they shut it. Did you see that video?
Nah,
I heard a lot of people were like like that was going around social media and stuff. So that was an interesting thing. Like,
Like screaming and moaning.
yeah, like basically someone cracked the door to the thing, and then like this lady with Bezos was like, "Oh no, you're not supposed to do that," and they like shut it. And then he came up there with like tool and pretended to open it. It's like, well, this is weird. And I don't know who. Like I would have never even thought of that because I wouldn't have been thinking this, but people were like, "Oh, it's supposed to be pressurized in there because they went up to space and came down and all this stuff," which I don't know enough about space, but that definitely was a huge thing on social media that people were talking about. Um, Another thing I saw was there's supposed to be. Let me look it up. I think there's supposed to be 10,000 satellites, but let me see. Let me just look it up. That way, if there's a picture, I can show it to the people on the stream. I think. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's over 10,000 satellites orbiting the Earth. Okay. When they're in space though, like when they went up in this Blue Origin or whatever to look at space, you didn't see one satellite that's supposedly orbiting the Earth. And I'm gonna pull it up right now for the people. There you can go. I'm kind of blocking it a little bit, but y'all should be able to see it. Uh, they yeah, you don't see one satellite when these people are in space. Uh, and look at I don't know if you're watching my screen or I could share it with you in Discord. Uh, there's all here. I'll do it for so Joey can see it. There's there's all these satellites that are supposedly orbiting the Earth. Okay, and when they're on this Blue Origin space flight, you don't see one satellite when they're up there. And in fact, anytime they go to space, you never see any satellites. So what's up with that?
I don't know, man.
Bullshit. That's what I have to say
What is
about
up
it.
with space?
It's a fucking lie. More and more people are starting to wake up to it too. So I don't know. It's just funny that like we couldn't. Our own government sent people up to the space station. We couldn't get them down, so we had to get Big Elon to go up there in a Dragon spaceship to rescue him. And then here, I know this is like kind of unrelated because it's Jeff Bezos' company, but it's like now he's doing this little space thing. It's like all this stuff to reinforce space, 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 space. But then they can't seem to get it right because there's so many lies about space that they can't cover their ass at all times. Like there's no way if there's 10,000 satellites and it's supposed to look like this that when you go up there you don't see any, not one. That's just bullshit. So I don't know. I could normally if I was streaming more often and stuff like that, I'd be all over this and I'd have even more stuff to break down and disprove. But just off top, I thought of the satellite thing on my own. Well, it's kind of that's been a thing that I've thought about, but it came back in my head when I saw that they were in space. Uh, a lot of people were commenting about the door. Bitch. A lot of people were commenting about the door opening, and then just a lot of people I don't really give a fuck about this, but a lot of people were commenting about why was it all women, what that was about. And then a lot of people were commenting about like Katy Perry doing like a bunch of weird stuff. Like she took a flower up there and then she had like some kind of little butterfly. It wasn't a real butterfly, obviously. It was like a little cutout of a butterfly or something, and she like put it over her eye and was getting weird with that. And then she got back out from space and she was like kissing the ground. And everybody was like, well, if you're kissing the ground after 5 fucking minutes, imagine those people that were in the International Space Station for 9 months. So they're probably, everyone was like, probably saying they were just looking at her like, you're a fucking fool. We were up there 9 months and you're up there for 5 minutes and you're kissing the ground when you come back. So anyway, it's just, that
For
was just kind of
real.
like a funny thing. But um, I don't know. You have any thoughts on it or anything to say or?
I'm over space. I don't know what's real anymore.
Dang. You're gonna be a flat earther by the end of the year.
I don't know about that, but
Why is it
I don't
so
know. I
hard
just
to
don't
give
care,
up on space?
dude. I don't care about space. I don't care about flat Earth.
Why
I care
not?
about today. I care about my days,
You care about your days,
my life.
but don't you care if the government's lying to you?
Yeah, I do. And once they, if they do get caught or if something, you know,
Who's gonna catch him though? Who you gonna call? If
we're
they get
working
caught,
on
I'm
it.
catching them right now. This is it. It's not gonna get any realer than this. I don't know. I get it. I get
Well,
it. Everyone's like in their life and shit, and it's like, okay, who are you gonna believe? Logan in his living room who doesn't know shit, or people like me who don't know shit, or like the government who seem official, but like they're not official. They're not, and more than that, they're not. Um, they're not truthful, and they're not looking out for your best interest. So, might they be telling the truth? Yeah, but the more and more you look into it, and I understand that takes time and energy for people that they don't have. But if you do start to care about that, you're gonna find pretty quickly that they're not truth tellers and they don't care about you. So, I understand everyone has their own life and their own things going on and what's important to them and their own, thing like that. But if you do start to care about being lied to, they are lying. So there you go. Um, there was something I was gonna say too about the lying thing. I had an interesting conversation with my dad this weekend about Trump and how I don't think Trump's good and et cetera, et cetera. And it was a good debate because I was pointing out things, and then my dad's defense of Trump was like, "Well, tell me what he's done to bad policy wise, or what he's doing with the government that's bad." And to his point, it was hard for me to come up with specific things. And I know people that are in that world or like following all the stuff real closely, they can come up with especially people that are on the left, they can come up with a laundry list of things that he's done that they don't like. And then the people on the right are going to enjoy a bunch of that stuff. So that's not really going to sway their opinion of him. But I do think if you're into it, like really watching it with a fine tooth comb, that you're going to find things that he's done bad government wise too. But anyway, that's a whole other discussion. But if you look into it, you can definitely find out that they're not uh, crossing their T's and dotting their I's. So not a super deep dive on the Blue Origin thing, but just kind of a, if you want to start looking into ways that they're not, their stories don't line up and that they're not being truthful, it's definitely there. So anyway, I'd welcome conversation to that, or anyone who wants to get in the comments and tell me how stupid I am about this, or if you think I'm not explaining something right, or you view it in a different way, or whatever. I'm open to people challenging me in the comments or whatever, and definitely open for debate. So if anyone wants to tell me how dumb I am or has their point of view or something, feel more than free to get in the chat or comments and let me know. Uh, but I guess I'll give you the last word if you have any else thing you want to say about it, or not really. And if not, we can kind of move on.
nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Fuck the government. Fuck space.
Yeah. Um, the last thing I had in the title, we could talk about other stuff too, was like a Shannon Sharp thing. I don't know if you had heard about that, or I feel like there was something else that was real big recently that I kind of wouldn't mind talking about, but I can't remember what it is right now. Oh, the NBA. I guess we could talk about Shannon Sharp, and then we can maybe finish off with a little NBA talk. Or if you don't really know about the Shannon thing or don't care about it, we can just talk about the NBA a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about the NBA.
Okay.
I really like the show. The battle against what's his face, the Celtics versus the team they were playing this last weekend.
Who are they playing? I'm not even up on the East as much. Uh, they are playing. Oh, Orlando. Okay, yeah, I haven't watched that. Did you watch the Celtics game?
Yeah, I did. It was really good.
Okay.
But they like, oh, it was Orlando. They caught up,
Yeah.
but then they just fumbled.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
Celtics are good. They've been good for like over 5 years. They've really been building this team. They've won recently too. I think they won last year. Um, and yeah, they've been. It's like Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum have been. Let me see how long they've been. they've it's been building and building to this, and it's not a surprise that they're one of the top teams in the East. I never have found the East as entertaining as the West. I guess maybe because I'm like a Spurs fan, and I would watch them, and they would play in the West more, so I would be more familiar with that. And the West, for a while, was more competitive. I don't know that it's quite that way anymore. Um, but yeah, I was always kind of more into the West side of it. But let me see, Jason. I want to see. Trying to figure out when he joined the Celtics. Okay, 17. Yeah, so he's been there a minute. Yeah. So the Celtics, that's what I was thinking too, is a late teen. So they've been over 5 years. They've been building, grinding with Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, and then they've had other people. They've put new people around them. Like Derek White's a big one from the Spurs. That's a big part of their team. They got Pritchard, who's a big guy. Not a big guy, but like a big part of their team. So, I would, yeah, they've ever since LeBron's kind of been getting older. It seems like the Celtics have been coming in to fill that void and be the kind of one of the bigger teams in the league, especially in the East. So, um, I watched the a little bit of the Lakers Timberwolves. I haven't, man. I feel bad. I have not watched the game yet, but like a full game. Oh, I watched the Rockets and the Warriors. That was a good one. Curry basically has to go off every game for the Warriors to be in it, and he definitely is like as good as ever. And he's 37 now, so he's starting to get towards the end of his career, but he's definitely not slowing down quite yet. And he's still fun to watch. If anyone's a fan of basketball, Curry, or if you've never seen him, you're gonna want to watch. It's something special to see, and I really enjoyed watching him and the Rockets. And there's a game on right now that I will probably tune into like the second half once we get out of here. But uh, yeah, I love the playoffs. It's always a good time of year for me when I get into basketball more than I usually watch the regular season a decent amount, but I haven't been as last year or two. But getting into the playoffs now that they're here, and yeah, it's just good competition. I like how there's 7 games potentially, and do you have you watched any other games or just that one with the Celtics?
And then I watched the Thunder.
Oh yeah, they blew out the
They blew
Memphis.
out. That game was boring, but
Yeah,
they're just scoring threes like left and right. I was like, dang, that's the name of the game now.
yeah, it's all threes. The Thunder are really good. They've last probably I'd say 5 to 3 years, but specifically like the last 3 years, they really have been putting together some good people. They got Chet, they got the big 7 footer who's like mobile. They got Shea, they got Lou Dort. They really got a solid, well-rounded team, and they're going to be a problem for the next decade, I would say, unless things can happen. But if they stay together and stay healthy, they're going to be the team to beat for the next 5 to 10 years. I would say probably a good 5 or so, but they're really, really, really good. Um, yeah, round one's kind of getting rid of a few of the teams that maybe don't belong, but there's going to be some good matchups, and then the next 2 rounds are really going to be good. So um, I'm eager to see how it shakes out. I'm eager to see the Lakers too are the third seed in the West, and they had 50 wins, but they got beat by the Timberwolves in the first game. So is that the only team of the lower seed that lost the first game? Uh, I don't know if the Pacers were. Yeah, that was the Lakers were the only team that had the better record and were the higher seed. They're like the better team that lost game one. So, Luke and LeBron, but y'all better step it up. But that's also a good
Damn, call
matchup.
him out.
Yeah, that's
Call
a
him
good
out.
matchup. Um, I think the one that's the most like lopsided is the Thunder and the Grizzlies, like you said, because they got blown out, and that series might be the quickest one to be over. But anyway, it's just the beginning. I'm not as up on it because I haven't really watched this year, but definitely excited to see it go. The Pistons and the New York Knicks is going to be another good one. That one's tied at 1-1. And then the Pistons have been on the rise the last year or two with like a bunch of young players, similar to the Rockets. The Rockets and the Pistons are real young, athletic teams that did really well, but they haven't been good in a while. So those are kind of hot young teams on the rise. Uh, but the rest of the team's kind of been good for a while and been building. So, but it'll be interesting. I need to watch a little bit more. I'll have more input, but I definitely enjoyed the Curry Rockets Warriors series. That's going to be a real good one. Uh, I think the Nuggets and Clippers is going to be good. That's going on right now. And anyway, yeah, the Cavs also blew up. I mean, yeah, the Cavs blew out the Heat. That was the other big blowout. So if y'all are not up on it, if you're up on it, you probably know more than me. But if you're not up on it, it's just kind of a little quick update. Uh, we'll kind of see as more stuff develops and more storylines go. But I'm definitely looking to get into it and looking to see some good games and some good series and kind of that sort of thing. Um, I don't really have any predictions. If I was more into it, I might. I definitely think the favorites in the East are the Cavs and the Celtics, and then in the West it's OKC. I would say, and I don't know if there's another real big favorite in the West. I think OKC is the main big favorite in the West. I think other than that, it's pretty even playing field in the West. So we'll see how it shakes out. It's interesting to see what Giannis can do without Lillard, that sort of thing. So I was kind of surprised the Pacers won Game One, to be honest with you, but they're definitely not any scrubs over there. They got Halliburton, they got Turner. I'm not familiar with the rest of their team too much, but uh, you
Yeah, I'm
know,
excited for playoffs and shit.
yeah, I prefer this over March Madness just because you kind of the teams have somewhat of continuity between year to year, whereas college there's new players every year. You can't really you watch it for a month of March Madness, then it's over. So even though the playoffs is only about a month too, if you were watching the regular season before, you kind of and the players have continuity between year to year. So anyway, but yeah, y'all get in the comments. Let me know if there's anything. I'm sure there's stuff I missed, but if there's any exciting storylines that y'all are interested in, if there's certain matchups y'all are keen to watch. If there's a if you're one of these teams, my team is the Spurs, so if they were in, I have a lot more to say and be rooting for them. But I'm just kind of watching as an overall fan to enjoy it. But yeah, if there's any storylines I missed or any threads that y'all think are real cool to talk about, or any team that you're rooting for, watching, or anything like that, get in the comments and let us know. Be eager to continue to talk about this in the coming weeks and kind of give coverage and talk about plot lines that develop and storylines and certain matchups as it goes forward. So that'll be cool. And let's see. Because like as far as the Lakers, real quick, that's kind of the one that I'm somewhat watching more than the rest. Because they are the team with the high that were better in the regular season, they have home court advantage. But because the Timberwolves won Game One, now the Timberwolves have the home court advantage. So basically, the Timberwolves they only have to win the rest of the series. They can only they if they only win the games that they play at home, they can still win the series. Where beforehand that wasn't true. They had to basically win one of the games in LA to win the series, and they already did that Game One. So it kind of shifted the not necessarily the momentum, but the what would I say? Like the just the slight advantage I would say is in their favor now because like I said, if they just there's three more games in LA and there's three more games in Minnesota potentially, so they only have to win all games at home and they can win the series now. They already won they as they call it in the NBA, they stole a game away. They already stole a game in LA, so now they can just win out at home and win the series. So that's kind of like I said, I think that's the only team that was in that scenario. All the other series, the better team won, or the better ranked team won game one. So that's an interesting storyline to kind of watch already. And so we'll see how it goes forward. There'll probably be, like I said, as it goes forward, there'll be more to talk about. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know if there's anything y'all wanted me to talk about, or something I missed, or something y'all are watching closely, like a certain player, certain storyline, certain rivalry, etc. And yeah, you got anything else to say about the playoffs, Joey?
You know what I really liked about March Madness was the fact that Houston was doing really well.
Yeah, that's cool to see from Texas, especially. And
Yeah,
then
but besides that, I mean, chill. I'm excited to see the finals.
yeah, for sure.
Maybe I'll be off of school and we can like plan a party or someone plans a party.
Dang.
Get a little naughty for the finals.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Uh,
I want it to be like 3-3 again, or like
oh yeah, game
super
7.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes it good.
That'd
Hopefully
be
there'll be some series that go to some game 6s and 7s, and it's not just there almost always is. So there's gonna be some competitive series, and that's when it's fun. You can kind of hone in on certain matchups. You see, oh, okay, that guy got the better of them last game. Are they gonna change the defense? Are they gonna let someone else guard him? Are they gonna try to slow the game down, speed it up? All the different things they can do. So that's when it gets interesting. You see a team win, but you're like, okay, they're gonna play in another day or two, so it just adds some drama and some intrigue and things like that. And they go back and forth. They'll play in one team's hometown, then they'll play in the other team's hometown. So it's like home court advantage can also help a team. So there's all that kind of makes it interesting and adds some more drama to it. So I'm definitely ready for it too. Hopefully there's a good playoffs this year, real competitive, and hopefully no one gets hurt because that's something that can happen and really change things and make it less fun and whatever. But that's part of it too. So but hopefully everyone's healthy. We have a good competitive playoffs and plenty of good storylines to talk about. So yeah, I'm excited as well. Um, well, the what do you think? You think end off the stream right there, a good solid stream?
Is there anything else we want to talk about before we end off?
I did want to touch on the Shannon Sharp thing, just kind of give my I don't know really shit about it. I just saw the news about it, but just kind of give a quick little my thoughts on it before we get out of here. Nothing too crazy. I
Shout out Neon.
oh yeah, what'd you see with Neon? You
He almost you know, he almost beat that girl.
Yeah, I had seen the video of the NBA player the WNBA player that he was playing.
Oh
uh,
yeah.
yeah, you could tell when I watched the clips of that real quick. We could just talk about that, I guess. You could tell she had better basketball, um, like coordination. Like her moves seemed more fluid, and like her moves were more basketball type of moves, but she was missing them. And it reminded me like when I go out there and I haven't played in a while, and like I know how to do the move, but like my just like my touch and my coordination might be a little off. And so like I'll do the layup that looks cool and then I'll just miss it. And I was like, she looks like me out there, like almost just like a little rust almost is what it looked like. But um
Yeah.
so yeah, it was interesting. It's Neon's been playing a lot of basketball because he's been doing a lot of basketball streams with players of like retired players, current players. That almost seems to be like a little um not market, but he has almost found like a nice little market where he does like basketball streams with players and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of poking fun at the women, but um, yeah, I don't know. Shout out to Neon. He's doing his thing. He's growing. He's trying to figure out what's how to who to interview and that sort of thing. So um, to the whole point of the whole thing though, where they're just like making fun of women players. I don't know who that WNBA player is, and I didn't even really I don't know if I saw the name or I didn't, but I really most NBA players I'm gonna know who they are. If I don't, I'm gonna try to figure it out. But I just didn't really care, so I don't know if that's bad or not. But there you go. We need a new pope. We need a gay pope. We need a Jewish gay pope. I don't know.
You heard it here first,
I'm just
folks.
making fun of Trump or some dumb shit. I feel like that's my Shane Gillis impression of Trump. So if you haven't seen Kill Tony, go check out the Kill Tony episode with Shane Gillis playing as Trump. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Uh, and then real quick on the Shannon Sharp thing, I just saw that he was getting sued where some lady was trying to say that he did something sexually that she didn't want, but it seems like his legal team is already coming out with text messages of her saying like every dirty thing in the book that she wanted Shannon to do to her. So it just seems like this case has like zero ground to stand on. But here's my conspiracy theory. You know who big conspiracy theorist here. Shannon Sharp a year or two ago leaked allegedly, according to him, he leaked or he accidentally went live on Instagram when he was having sex with some lady and it got leaked and it was like this embarrassing moment. Oh, I accidentally showed some bedroom fun that I'm having, and nothing. He didn't do anything that would be embarrassing. It was just two adults consenting, doing their thing. But obviously, no one wants that leaked online. But he was just like, I accidentally leaked it myself, and my bad, everybody. But at the time, it was almost everyone was like, okay, did you really like accidentally leak it, or like was this something? Because there's been gay rumors around him for a while, so everyone was thinking at the time, is this something you're doing to like get rid of the gay rumors? And to me, this almost seems like more of that. Now, I don't know if that's true. Obviously, I'm just speculating. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is legitimate. He's just having to defend himself. And if so, that's unfortunate. But it just seems funny that, like, a year ago, he had this IG leak that people were debating if it was a leak. And now, within a year or so, he has this woman that's suing him, but the case seems to have no ground to stand on. So to me, it's just like, okay, is this just another way for you to dispel the gay rumors, or is this legitimate, or what's going on? But um, anyway, that was just my kind of first thought when I saw it. Um, anyway, if it's not real and she's accusing him, I hope it gets handled quickly. And I'm sorry that that is something he's having to deal with. Sign of the times, but it's definitely interesting that he's a lot of famous people will go their whole life and never have a thing like this, but it is more and more common. I will say that. But it is just interesting that within 2 years, he's had two different big news stories that have to do with his sexuality or something sexual in nature. So I just thought that was interesting, but I don't have a huge breakdown or any kind of inside thing or anything. But that was just my first thought. You have any thoughts on that or not really?
Uh, I mean, we're humans. Humans do that shit all the time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I wish the internet wasn't so into our lives.
Come on, skip. Um, yeah, I agree with that. But I don't have as much sympathy for it's like the price you pay. If you're gonna put yourself out there, be a famous celebrity, he's not just famous from football. Obviously, he's chose to be on TV shows where he's getting paid millions of dollars. So it's kind of like this the life you chose to be famous and have kind of this is I know he doesn't no one thinks they're gonna be famous and be accused of stuff and have stuff like this, but like, if the IG thing with him accidentally leaking it, that's a big deal because you're famous and that's kind of the life you chose. And when he goes out to eat, people are gonna take pictures and come up to him and look. You're a celebrity, so it kind of goes with the big paycheck. So if you didn't want to continue being in the limelight, you should have just retired and just chilled back. So I do have some sympathy, but not near as much as if it was a normal person because you chose to be famous. So, um, but speaking of that, this is another little side note. I saw recently DeMar DeRozan, who is an NBA player, played for the Raptors for many years. He played for the Spurs for a year or two. Now he's with the Kings. Seems like a real chill, humble, like laid back dude. Uh, and very soft spoken. He was approached in a restaurant by a fan on some just like wild shit, and the fan just like started recording him without his permission, and he got into like a little altercation with the fan. I haven't really seen a lot of reaction online. I will just say, for me personally, I'm on DeMar DeRozan's side. Don't fucking come up to me already recording and then just put the camera on me like it's all good. Like, motherfucker, what if I don't want to be like? I'm an NBA player, so I know when I'm on TV, I'm on TV. But like when I'm at a restaurant chilling, if you come up like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" That's one thing. But to just come up with your phone already recording and then just put the camera on me, that's not cool. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants their privacy, and like people are still people. So I think some post I saw like, "Oh, don't meet your kids' heroes or don't meet your heroes." It's like, well, your heroes are still human, so treat them like a fucking human, and maybe you probably would have got like a lot better reaction. But don't just walk up to somebody recording them when they don't have a choice to say yes or no, or let me stop chewing, or like he had no he had no consent. So that was a little weird, just to kind of you know be on the side of the famous person and kind of defend them, so to speak. Do you have any opinions on that or thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, just respect people's like
Yeah,
personal space and privacy. I mean,
yeah,
That should be like a given, almost like one of the 10 Commandments, or like
let's let's just add.
fucking
Yeah,
the golden rule. Like treat
right.
others how you want to be treated.
And some people are like, oh, I don't wouldn't care if it was me, but it's like, well, you're not a fucking celebrity, and you probably would care. So anyway, yeah, I agree with that.
And
And
yeah, and then especially after like it happening all the time. Like I know Justin Bieber has a real bad temper with that shit,
yeah,
and Kanye, and
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So
like
that's
if I want a blowjob on my private boat in the middle of town, I don't expect all the cameras to be on me.
yeah.
uh,
Watch out, that Kanye's giving blowjobs to his cousin allegedly. Oh
that's why
man,
he made his
Jesus
like
Christ.
wife do that shit.
Yeah, he was so messed up. Who that man? Yeah, who knows what's going on with him? But yeah, I don't think he's still with his new wife. Do you?
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, he's a wild
I
boy.
mean, girls are always into assholes and shit.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I had a friend tell me he had a girl over
Uh huh.
that he had to go pick up because she needed help or whatever. She's like homeless and shit. And he's like slept with her a few times. And then he invited another girl over and he brought her over. So he has two girls in his crib. And then one of the girls gets mad as fuck, storms off, says, "Oh, I've slept with him, right?" And all this shit. And then the other girl just started making out with him. But then after she made out with him, she left and felt bad.
Hmm. Well.
That's like, and then on the way home, both the girls saw each other driving home. You can't make that shit up,
Do you
bro.
love that?
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, it's I don't, we could talk about it. We a whole nother episode, but yeah, girls like it's one of the like unpleasant truths of dating. But like girls like guys that they know other girls like. It's like a pre-selection type of thing. It's like I don't know. There's a whole psychology behind it,
Yeah,
but it makes
if
sense.
girls don't like you, then girls will not like you. Period.
Yeah, it makes sense if you're good at getting one, you probably be good because like there's something that made her like you, so it's probably gonna be something that another girl would like. But there's something with the pre-selection when they see that another girl likes you, they're like, oh, they like pre-selection, they like knowing that there's something good about you. So it's an interesting thing. And yeah, guys that are usually smooth with ladies are good with more than one, and then that can become an issue. So that's an interesting thing, and that's nothing new. So it's interesting that you're seeing it up close and personal, but nothing new. But that's
Yeah,
hilarious. Um,
yeah.
so maybe we'll talk about dating stuff in a future podcast and stuff. I know we kind of wore that out for a little while, but uh, we could talk about that
Nah, I
maybe.
just thought it was funny to bring up since he brought up his wife.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I recently just hit 800,000 views.
nice.
Yeah, so check out my channel if y'all get the chance.
Yeah, y'all go check out Mr. Good Joe Games channel. He has the playthroughs, good commentary, funny jokes, and just kind of a different perspective. And definitely
I got 100,000 views in these past 7 days.
nice, nice.
970.5, but we'll round it out.
Yeah, I think it's you sticking with the same thing and something that's popular, so
But
that's
like,
good.
if I'm getting 100,000 views every 7 days,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good.
times every 7 days, and I have not what 3 months.
What do you mean you have 3 months?
I got 90 days to get 3 million views.
Oh,
So
oh,
I'd only get 1 million views per 3 months. 1,300,000 views per 3 months.
hmm.
So for me to make that possible for YouTube, I'd probably have to make somewhere around 200,000 views
It's all
per
about the watch
seven
hours too, right?
days. Yeah, I'd have to get at least 250,000 views. No, just views.
I thought they cared about watch hours too.
Uh, no, you just gotta get one of them.
Mm,
You need the subscriber minimum, and then you need the views or the watch time.
okay. Well, that's what's
So yeah,
up,
I'd have
man.
to get I'd have to make 250,000 views per 7 days
Hmm.
to make that possible for YouTube. Just, but it's interesting.
Yeah, they make it hard, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they want you to bring
Major
some
eyeballs.
views.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's what's up. You're getting closer. I think. What's your watch hours at?
I can check right now.
Just a side note, really quick. I just
It's
get
still
your
stuck at 2,000.
2000 what?
It's still stuck at like 2,000.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think your cousin has that interesting thing with like the two women, whatever? But do you think that's ever sustainable for any amount of time or no?
What, having two women?
Yeah.
It's sustainable if you have like a proper job and your finances in check and you
I'm
know
not
how to
even talking
like
about
handle
finances.
it.
I'm talking about just socially.
Like what? Like does it make you look bad?
No, do you think you like with like do you like with the two women, do you think like but like just between you and them, do you think that's sustainable? Not worried about what other people think or the money part of it, but like relationship wise or dating wise or however you want to put it, do you think it's sustainable for one man to be able to see multiple women for any extended period of time, or do you think that's like a short-lived little thing? Do you think he can keep it going? And basically, do you think two women or more than two women will accept that and be okay with it, and that he'll be able
If
to,
they
not him
if they all
specifically? Do
plan
you
on
think that's doable for any man?
if they all plan on being single, yes. Like staying single. But eventually we know women the goal of women dating men is for them to be able to like hold the man down and get married.
So you don't think they would accept you being
No, in the long term, no. Like you kind of have to be hush hush about it, or just
why?
you know, well, you don't have to like. You're not gonna go, oh yeah, I'm also sleeping with this other girl.
Why not?
You don't tell them that, just because it's gonna cause problems.
What if that's a better? What if that's just because it's not normal doesn't mean it's not better?
I'm sure some girls would be down.
Hmm.
Like I said, it just like
Because that's definitely like I'm not saying I'm qualified to do that, but like for myself, I would rather I'm definitely thinking about that. Why would I ever limit myself to one? And anytime I've tried to do that, it's run into problems because they try to start being the leader. But it's like if you have two, all right, well I'm the leader. Like I feel like it would change the dynamics, and it might be a lot to deal with. But it's almost like when you start trying to date and like when one man and one woman start to date, I feel like, and again, we could talk about this like another time because it gets real in depth. But I just feel like it could set it up to where when there's one man and one woman, a lot of times the man ends up trying to please the woman because he wants her to stay. But if you're like, all right, I have two women, and if y'all, it sets it up to where you're more of um you're not the one trying to get them to stay because a lot of time that drives them away anyway. But you're more of like, this is how it is going to be, and if you want to leave, then you're more than welcome to. But I don't want that. But it kind of sets you up to where you're not like always pursuing them to stay because eventually that runs into problems from what I've seen. You know what I mean?
jelly bean.
I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be total trash, but like obviously it's a red pill kind of a talking point. But I'm just thinking to myself like when I've tried to just date one woman, it's never worked out. And it's a lot of times because they have the leverage. And so I'm just wondering if like the guy has the leverage. I don't know. Just maybe a thought for future podcasts or something to think about, but I've been thinking about that lately. So I know it's not culturally acceptable, and most women would be like, "Ew, gross! I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with that." But I'm just wondering if maybe there's benefits to that or something. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of dudes do that. I mean, but you have to also be able to, be able to do that in the first place.
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes, not all the girls you're messing with are, bad females.
What do you mean bad?
Sometimes they're sometimes they're dragons.
Yeah.
Nah, it's funny.
Yeah. It definitely could let them know though, like it's just a different mindset. So anyway, we can flesh it out more another time. I just thought I'd get a quick because you brought it up, a quick opinion on that. But I think it's been a good stream without us rambling on about a bunch of stuff. We kind of hit the topics. It was pretty good. Uh, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm getting tired of saying this. I feel like I say it every time. I need to just shut up and do it. But I want to be streaming more for y'all. So when I have free time, I will. There's always plenty to talk about. I'm enjoying the playoffs. I'm gonna try to watch them more. I'm gonna try to get on this game. Hopefully, it's not too late. It might already be over, but I'm gonna try to get on it if there's still time and watch the end of the Nuggets Clippers. But I appreciate Joey for coming on. As always, I appreciate him providing topics and stuff and giving his input. Y'all go check out his channel. He's been heavy. He plays a lot of games. It's a playthrough channel, but lately he's been on the Minecraft grind. He's in the SMP server. He's got some funny characters in there. They do collaborative
Very funny.
stuff. They make jokes. It's always something funny. They're always trolling or pranking somebody or
Pull,
even just
pulling my
normal.
leg.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. They do little competitions as well. I saw a boat race the other day, which was cool. So y'all go check it out. It's always gonna be a good time. And y'all get in the comments. Let us know what y'all thought of this stream. Any topics y'all want us to cover. Any opinions on topics we did cover. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. I'll give Mr. Joe Games the last word, and then we'll get out of here.
All right, guys, y'all know what time it is. Mr. Joe Games, Joy Flicks, LOG, thanks for having me on. Y'all smash that like button, subscribe, and see y'all next time.
Hell yeah. Until next time, I appreciate y'all. And maybe next time we'll also I know we're amateur YouTube creators, but we do have some insight. Joey was sharing a few of his numbers and last I remember it was either last stream or the one before, we're kind of giving some YouTube tips. So I kind of like doing that too. So maybe we'll keep that in mind and kind of we've been sharing our journey. So y'all let us know if there's anything y'all have seen from that y'all like or any YouTube tips that y'all want to share, anything that y'all would like to ask us on that tip too as well. So uh y'all don't support Kanye, and we'll see y'all in the next one. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I'm out.